Hi everyone, Shane Thompson here from Metro Punting. Today we're going to preview the Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Royal Randwick this Saturday for day 2 of the championships. It's a race over 2,000 metres, Group 1 weight for age. Currently the track is rated a soft 7 and the forecast over the next few days in Sydney is for a little bit of rain, so I suspect the track will stay in that soft 7 range. Last Saturday for Doncaster Day, the track played really fairly. The track was a heavy 8 and remained that way the whole day. The horses could win from the front, the middle, on the back of the pack. Also, they could win on the rail in the middle of the track and out wide. I suspect the track will play the same this weekend and will be fair for all runners. Okay, let's jump in and have a look at this race. Starting with the speed map. So this is the prediction of how fast I think the horses will jump from the barriers to take up a position, and in doing so how fast they might go over the first 200 or 300 metres and then for the remainder of the race. So as we can see, we've got Adayab and Galo Chop looking like they'll push forward to the lead. Very Elegant down on premium will likely settle just behind them. Then there's Melody Bell, Colding, Vow and Declare, Happy Clapper. They'll probably settle in a midfield position just behind them. So if we have a look at my projection for after the first 200 or 300 metres of the race, this is their likely settling positions. So I've got Adayab leading from Galo Chop sitting just outside him. Very Elegant down on premium behind. Then Melody Bell, Colding, Happy Clapper, Vow and Declare in that midfield spot. Imaging and Kingswell Gem looks like they might be trapped 3 wide, and then Tiako Shark, Master of Wine, Life Less Ordinary to settle at the back of the pack. So jumping into my database now and looking at the stats for the last 20 years so we can get a bit of a profile on what type of race horse we're looking for to win this race. If we start with the winning odds, so for the last 19 years, it's a race where a lot of odds on pops have won, including Winks, who won the last 3 years under $2. Aramine, Grand Army, Lonro have all won this race under $2. There's a few horses that have won around the $3 mark, $4 and $5 mark. So this year I'll be looking for a horse that's priced somewhere between $3 and $5. Days since their last race start, as you can see, the average is 15.3, but the most common is 14 to 21 days. So we'll be looking for a horse that's had a start in the last 21 to 14 days. Starts before this race looks like 1 to 5, 3 being the average. So we'll be looking for a horse that's had at least 1 start before this race, up to about 4. Finish position last race start. This is a good guide. There's a lot of horses that have either won or finished second at their last start that come in and win this race, even though their average is finishing second or 2.6. I think we will be well served looking for a horse that's either won or run second at its last race start. The barriers aren't really of much significance. You can win from anywhere. Same with the in-run position. You can win leading, sitting handy, midfield, coming from the back if you're good enough. But what is significant is the in-run lane. You want to be too wide or on the rail like most races. You don't want to be covering any extra ground. So with that in mind, let's jump in and have a look at this year's race and put the horses and form through the system. So horses that place first or second at their last race run include Denon Premium, Adayab, Master of Wine and Very Elegant. Lead-up runs before this race, Adayab's had 1, Master of Wine's had 2, Very Elegant has had 4, whereas Denon Premium drops off. He is first up into this race, hasn't had a race for a few months. Days since their last run, Adayab 21 days, Very Elegant 14 days, Master of Wine is 28 days, so he drops off at this point. In-run position in the speed map, so if we jump back to our speed map, we want to be a horse to be on the rail or 2 wide, so we're looking at Adayab, which is leading on the rail, and Very Elegant, which is likely to settle handy on the rails, so that's a tick for both of them. Age 4, 5, or 6 is what we're looking for here in the most common age winner of this race. So Adayab is 6 and Very Elegant is 4. So they both tick that box. And then the odds. So the odd bracket, we're looking for a horse between $3 and $5. So Adayab is $4.60. So he ticks all the boxes. Very Elegant is just outside that price at $6.50 though. So for those of you who like the each way bets, she might be the go there. But I'm going to put Adayab. He ticks all the boxes in the past stats from the database. So running over my form selection criteria that I use on all races, these being the main conditions. There's a few others that I run over it, but at this stage, these are the main ones. So the distance, I like the horse to have won the distance. Adayab won this distance, 2,000 metres last start. This class, it's a Group 1 weight for age. He won the Group 1 weight for age Randvet Stakes at Rose Hill last start over this distance. And the weight, yes, he carried this weight last start to win, so he's proven and suited at the weights. Track condition, he's won on soft and heavy tracks, so the likely soft track will suit him. Suited by the speed map. So if we jump back to the speed map again, I've got him leading at the front. I don't think it'll be a hectic speed. They'll probably run along at an even pace, but I suspect he will be suited in the run. And the jockey must be ridden by a top jockey. This jockey rode him last start to win, so he knows the horse. He's in good form, and actually a lot of professional punters who I trust their opinion of rate this guy really highly. So I'm quite happy to be putting my money and trust in him, as along with the trainer that's a trusted trainer. He brought 2 race horses out here for the championships, and they've both won a race in the lead up to their main races this weekend. So the barn is in form, which is good. So jumping back to the race and having a look at the overall race and going through the chances. Denon Premium, the Japanese horse, number 1. He's a very classy animal, proven. He's run some very fast times. He's beaten Lise Griser, who won the Cox Plate out here last year. He beat him at his last race start. He also ran a placing to Almond Eye, which is a Japanese horse who is rated one of the best horses in the world. So he's a very class horse who can run fast times. The only thing is he has no slow or wet track form. So the fact that it is a soft 7 out here, he's an unknown on that. I suspect he might find it a little bit difficult to run those fast times that he usually does. Coupled with the fact he hasn't had a lead-up run out here before this race. So at the $3.70, I think that's a bit under, so I won't be jumping in to find out if he's adept on wet ground over here without having a lead-up run. So that leaves me with Adayab on top, $4.60. Ticks all the boxes for me. I'm very happy to be with him at that price. So he's clearly on top from Very Elegant, who pretty much came through the system, but she's at that $6.50 price. She'll be a big chance. She ran second to Adayab. She raced him in the Randvet Stakes 2 starts back, and then she came out and won the BMW Stakes at 2,400 really easily. So she's the main danger in my opinion. Now Tiako Shark, he was the other one that I was looking at backing in this race, but during the week I noted that he had to go to get a vet check on a foot problem. He's since been cleared from the vets to start in the race. I think they're going to do another vet check on Saturday to make sure he's okay to line up in the race. As you can see down here in the gear changes, he's got synthetic hoof filler on first time, so that tells me he's got some issues with his feet. So I'm a little bit wary of jumping in and backing the Shark at $6. This isn't a race where you want to have any question marks over your fitness. It's the top of the tree, really. They're all very good horses. It'd be really hard to win the race. In saying that, Melody Bell, who I thought was a massive run in the Doncaster last Saturday, she was trapped 4 wide the entire trip, carrying the big weight of 57 kilos. She still had the audacity to be there in the last 150 metres, just fading to be not beaten all that far. I think if she backs up, she'd be a chance. However, I suspect that may have been a gut buster. It might have taken a lot out of her to maintain that big run. So I'm just a bit wary that she may not back up. Just that effort might tell in this race. So $11 is not a bad price each way, but I suspect that that race might have taken too much out of her. The other horse I just wanted to touch on is number 10, Master of Wine. He's an up-and-coming horse. He's won his 2 starts in this time, both on wet tracks, so he's adept in the wet. He's okay at this distance, and he looks like a progressive young horse. However, there is an old adage that I stick to that I was taught in punting, and that is always stick to proven class horses who've been there and done that over boom unproven young horses such as Master of Wine. So with that being said, a Dayab on top for me in this race. I'll be backing him to win at $4.60 and possibly having a Quinella with Very Elegant, but definitely a Dayab on top for me. So there we go, guys. I hope you found that informative. If you like this, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to comment and let me know if you agree or if you disagree, you think I'm mad and I've missed a winner, that would be good too. Anyway, good luck and happy punting, everyone.